5 stars. We're back. Another edition of Burgin's 5 stars. Got some interesting topics this week, Chance, and I can't wait to get some of your opinions on them. Now that you got your mic and you give your opinions now, which I never actually told you could. You just kind of took over and did that. So you actually tried to take over my show one week, and now you're just going to have an open mic night over there, I guess, every time and criticize all my movie picks and everything like that. So, but we're going to do. Speaking of the torpedo bat, it's not necessarily cheating, but what are the 5 worst cheating scandals in sports? Okay, we'll start with number 5. Deflategate/Spygate for the New England Patriots. Obviously, everybody remembers the balls being deflated and then filming the Rams practice before the Super Bowl. You talked about this earlier with Bill Belichick, Chance. He's always innovative, finding ways to get the upper hand. Filming a team before practice is not any way an upper hand. That's just flat out cheating. And then also the Deflategate. I'm not really a big one on, like, I know that they have to be to a certain PSIs, but I catch a ball that's a little bit deflated better, so I know how it could be an advantage. But I was going to ask you, did you think that was truly cheating by deflating the footballs like that?
I think they discovered after, like, during that whole time.
It's cold too. It's probably a lot easier in a hard ball and
hard
cold.
Ball and cold is definitely difficult. We know that. Same with rain. If you can get a squishier ball in the rain or snow, it's better. But it's something about quarterbacks. They all have their preference.
Yeah.
During that time, no other quarterbacks were speaking up and saying, I deflate mine or I don't deflate mine, because they all do.
Yeah.
They put them to their perfection.
Yeah.
Brady just got in trouble because this is very, very deflated that one time. So he's like, all right, I'll stop.
Well, I think the Colts had a pick that game too. Guys go sideline. It's like, if you don't ever have an interception, maybe the team doesn't know.
One of that player was like, I'm keeping this as evidence for the rest of my life. Like, he still got it in the ball. It's like, that's the deflate ball.
Number 4, the Houston Astros trash can scandal, filming the pitches, relaying it to somebody in the dugout, banging the trash cans. We all saw when Altuve hit the bomb off Chapman, and he told him not to take off his shirt. To me, that's as illegal and cheating as it come. And the thing is, they punished the coaches, but they still haven't taken away the championship. That was such a huge year for a couple teams that lost because of that. But when you're filming the catcher giving signs and earpiecing it to somebody that is hitting a trash can in the dugout, first of all, who thinks of that? Second of all, I still can't believe the players were like, I want to go and do this. Like, this is, like, I know you see the guys on second base and they hold the signs up if they can read what the catcher's saying. That's like part of it. And there's always been stealing signs in football and baseball and stuff like that. But filming somebody and relaying that to somebody else that can let the batter know, like, that jumped the line for me. And I think that, like I said, they should actually take that World Series away. Just my opinion, because I think the players, they knew about it, and that to me is if I was a player, I would say, man, I don't want to win this way. That's just how I feel. So,
agreed.
Number 3, it's got to be Lance Armstrong. When Lance Armstrong beat cancer and ran through the Tour de France, I think that was one of the greatest sports stories for years. I mean, he hosted the ESPYs. It was the talk of everything. The greatest. Everybody was wearing the Live Strong bracelets. I'm sure you probably wore one at one time, Chance.
The yellow. Oh, we were talking about that with my wife the other day about those. But everybody, because you associate the yellow ribbons and stuff with the Live Strong now more than you do with cancer that was around.
Very, very true. And again, but coming to find out that he took steroids, it's number 3 on my list. Again, the only reason I don't feel so bad about it, because he did have cancer and he had to kind of build back his body from that, but still. He was cycling pretty dang fast.
Some people still train, and something I learned about myself through 3 different knee surgeries is when you're rehabbing, you're pushing your body more than you ever have usually, especially if you're an athlete trying to get back to that athlete.
Yeah.
So I think when he realized he could push himself harder and harder, he kept doing it and doing it. I know the steroids and stuff helped him, but I still think even with that, you still would have seen him breaking records. I think he just took the easier way.
Yeah. Number 2, it's got to be the Black Sox scandal. This is way before.
Quicker way. Let's go back.
Quicker way, yes. A Black Sox. A lot of people, that's what they get in trouble, is coming back from injury, kind of boosting the process. That's a good point, Chance. The Black Sox throwing the 1919 World Series. I know that's way before our time. Probably shouldn't even be on the list, but still, when you get in with the bookies and throw a World Series, they still bring that up to this day about how crazy that is. You think all the time about a pitcher. So much is control in a pitcher and even a quarterback. Those are the two positions I think that could probably throw a game more than anybody. We've seen some of the basketball stuff really, these guys just throwing it to the team. But, man, having 7 or 8 guys on one team in a cheating scandal and getting caught, that's just ridiculous.
It probably says a lot about me that in 6th grade, my project for, I think it was English, was on Pete Rose, and that he should be allowed in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And this was back in 6th grade of 1999.
And I agree. Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame because he never bet on his team. He just bet on his team to win and bet on other teams.
But I was in the 6th grade defending gambling.
You already knew you were going to be on the road to gambling. And then number 1 has to be steroids in baseball. God, there's a lot of baseball stuff on this. But baseball is America's pastime. And when you had the best players in baseball taking steroids to hit 60 and 70 home runs, I think to me it was so believable because it was the best players. A-Rod, Bonds, McGuire, Sosa.
Well, McGuire looked it.
Yeah, but a lot of these guys like Bonds. I mean, Bonds' head got as big as he couldn't even fit a helmet in it. But I think that was the crazy thing about it is that there were probably a lot of people cheating. I know that Chipper Joneses and
Canseco and them were.
Yeah, but there's some people that say like Chipper Jones never cheated. Frank Thomas from Auburn never cheated. He was already a big guy.
Big hurt.
But how many people were truly cheating at that time? But what makes it number 1 is that a lot of the best guys were doing it. So it wasn't just the no names trying to get good. So it was the best guys doing it to be over the top good.
And if you look at through history of sports, usually it's never the best guys that start out with it.
Yeah.
It's, well, this dude's getting it, and he's catching up to me, and he's about to beat me in my own job, so now I've got to, or else I'm going to lose my job.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they were saying. If all these guys are starting to get 100 home runs, I'm about to embarrass them.
Well, and steroids, not only with Lance, but remember the race, the Canadian Ben Johnson that beat Carl Lewis and them, he was just flying. He was steroided up. So there's a lot of things that steroids, and they're still catching people now with somebody, the guy for the Braves outfielder just got banned 80 games.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
So it's still an issue to this day. Some people trying to get the upper hand, but when the best players were doing it, like I said, that's a good point. Other players are probably catching up, and
I would like to throw in a challenge to the statement you said though. Is America's pastime baseball anymore?
Probably not anymore, but that's what they call it.
What would it be now?
I mean, football would probably be. I mean, that's what American football. That's one thing that nobody plays in the world but us.
I guess with kids, y'all still do all your travel balls, so that it takes up more time.
I think football is the most popular sport in America, and it's not even close.
Gotcha.
I will say this: honorable mentions, Tanya Harding in the Olympics. taking out. It's not funny, Chance. Taking out your opponent before the Olympics is pretty dang brave.
Our friend, Caitlin Custer, she played the role of the girl who Tanya hit.
Really?
Yeah, in a movie.
Okay.
With what's her name that from Wolf of Wall Street that plays Tanya.
Oh, Margaret Robbie. Yeah.
They were opposite each other in that movie.
What is there any other ones you're thinking about cheating wise that you remember?
Sports wise. Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari and them this past week, or 2 weeks ago in F1, where they got disqualified after the race because their skid plate was too...
That to me, I thought you were actually going to bring up the Jamaican bobsled team from Cool Runnings, the coach that actually put weights in the front of the bobsled. I don't know if they ever happened. They said it was Olympics, but all right. So that's your top 5 for worst cheating scandals in sports. The Broom injury. He says he's done. He comes back on the floor, makes a big 3 and a rebound to seal the game for Auburn. Had me thinking, what is the best injured/sick moment in sports? We'll start with number 5. It's got to be Kurt Schilling and your Boston Red Sox in the bloody sock. Has the busted tendons, comes out, pitches against the Yankees with the bloody socks. That thing's still in the Hall of Fame. It is a masterclass of a pitching job. Kurt Schilling was a Hall of Fame pitcher, but that to me was such a gutsy performance in a big-time game. Number 4, this is going to be something that people don't think about much, but Kerry Shrug lands the dismount in the Olympics with the broken ankle. I remember that so much of my childhood, watching that 1996 Olympics. Obviously, MJ and the basketball team. There was Michael Johnson running for the USA. But I remember watching that gymnastics team. There's a nickname for him. I can't remember what it's called. But when remember the coach carrying her and she does the Olympic, she does the vault and lands it with the one leg. That was a pretty cool moment, and that's why I got it number 4. I'm sorry. Number 3, Byron Leftwich with Marshall. Chance, do you remember this when he was getting carried down the field with a broken tibia is what he had? And he was still so good at quarterback. They're like, okay, we don't need you to move. Just stand and throw the ball, and we'll carry you down the field. And if it's a really long pass, it's going to be a little bit tougher for these linemen. But I'll never forget that. That was such a gutsy performance from Byron Leftwich. Number 1 and number 2 is going to be tough for me. Number 1, I'm going with my heart. Number 2, I'm going with probably should be number 1. But number 2 is going to be Tiger Woods in the 2008 U.S. Open playing with a torn ACL and a broken leg. The only reason I don't think it's number 1 is because golf, I know you're involved, but you're still walking and you're still not having to do anything really super athletic besides swing. I know that involves the swing, so it probably hurt like crazy and him falling down. But Tiger doing that and winning, I think that was the point where it was like, Tiger is beyond these people. Like, he is the greatest ever. That injury probably got him on the painkillers, which probably had him the wreck, which led to the divorce, which led to this. A lot's happened since Tiger. I think he's only won 1 major since then. But that was his top of the world moment. Winning here, I remember Will Ferrell on the ESPN was like, me winning with a torn ACL and a broken leg, I even thought maybe I am better than everybody else. Like, I always thought it was a funny moment on the ESPYs, but number 1, MJ, flu/food poisoning game. I think having like any kind of stomach virus is the worst thing in the world. You can't control when you throw up, can't control how you feel. It's one of the worst feelings in the world. But to be in the NBA Finals against the Jazz in a must-win game on the road and to do what he did was one of the most incredible performances. I think people still talk about that game to this day. Anybody talking about, oh, MJ flu game, or he's feeling sick, just like MJ in the we all know now through the documentary that it was actually food poisoning from pizza, not the flu. But still, I think that's the gutsiest performance. Honorable mention, I think, would be Kirk Gibson with the 2 bad knees swinging a bat. But you see pitchers hit home runs. I don't think swinging a bat, I know in the World Series, walk-off, but I think that to me wasn't as good as some of these other top 5. So, Chance, did you have anybody else to add?
To replace your number 1, it's going to be Paul Pierce with the doo-doo night.
The fake injury with a wheelchair.
The fake injury doo-doo wheelchair night. Yep, that. Yep. And what I can't believe is not on here is Kobe with his Achilles tear. He made those free throws.
I mean, Kyrie just did it. I mean, so somebody's done it now. But we're talking about these are. I mean, Emmitt Smith.
True.
Emmitt Smith should have been on there. He played a whole game with a dislocated shoulder. I mean, I don't know what that feels like. I think that would probably be pretty tough.
And we played through that, but we didn't play against NFL people in college.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I get what you're saying.
I was really just thinking of more things of like what like truly affects what you're doing, like a vault with a broken ankle or playing quarterback with a broken tibia. Like these people gutted it and won gold medals, games, NBA Finals, U.S. Opens. That's kind of where I base my list off of
There's a good list.
The accomplishments and World Series for Curt Schilling. So
I just want my Paul Pierce on there.
Yeah, he was in the wheelchair. The next thing you know, he's back on the court. I'm like, what's going on here? All right, that's our Burgin 5 stars this week. Enjoy the Final Four. I'll say it. Go Gators. And Roll Tide. Bama will be back. Hopefully win a national title at some point. They just got a 7-footer. They just got a 7-footer of the portal. Watch out for Nate Oates. He'll be back. Tide Tigers.